Hi friends, welcome to A Wonderful Sheep. Today I'm going to be packing up some BTS photo cards for trades and sales, and I thought I would bring you along. I also thought I would show you how I made these Toploader sleeves, which I was inspired by Jimdol님's channel and her packaging video, which I'll link below. And she puts a lot of thought and care into her packaging, and I thought it'd be fun to do my own sleeves since I love stationery and like gluing and pasting and collaging. So I'll show you the couple that I've done so far, and then I'll make one with you with the supplies I have on hand. This is mostly just either pages from the album or magazine pages, so you don't need a lot of special supplies. And you'll see later I made some with just magazine clippings. I need to redo that glue there. And then this one is a cutout. I wanted to write dragon eyes on the front, but I don't have my supplies with me since I'm not at home, so I only had one letter sheet, like one sheet of alphabet stickers, so I was able to write mono. You could also cut out letters from a magazine if you had the time. Beautiful dragon eyes inside there. And this is just no album pages, just cutouts from a magazine. Same here, I wanted to write Yoongi, but I didn't have a Y, so luckily I was able to write Suga. Here's Suga inside. This theme was sort of like a posh interior design house, because I had these gold letters, so I picked out some magazine clippings that had like cool interior design. And then Namjoon, also the background is just a magazine page and then a little bit from the album. Namjoon's in here. Another fun way to personalize the trade or sale, I think, would be to decorate the card with pages from an album or printouts. I know it's very painful to take apart an album photo book, so you could print out pictures or just use magazine clippings. Like, I think this looks just as nice as the one with a picture of RM on the front. And I wanted to accentuate dragon eyes here. This one just cracks me up. I think I like to do these cutouts. I'll make one from scratch with you. The materials you will need for the Toploader sleeve are pretty simple. I am using this pack of print out note cards. This was bought at Goodwill, so it was really cheap for this pack. And inside is both envelopes and the note cards. So this is what I was using. There's different kinds of these packs. I have another one here that's archival greeting cards. It's a little bit larger. Oh, that got bent, but the card is a little larger, but it's nice to have a little bit of a thicker paper like cardstock to use. But if you don't have these greeting card packs, you can definitely use, well, you could upcycle a greeting card you have, or you could just use cardstock. I have some cardstock here as well. I'll use one of these for Yoongi at the beach, because this cardstock pack was, I think, like a beach theme pack. And I know, we all know Yoongi likes blue. Blue is special to him, so I'll make two. One with the card and one with cardstock. And what I did is I just stuck it here, and then I make a mark a little bit to the outside of the top loader, because you want it to be big enough so that the top loader can slide in and out easily. The first one I made it a little too snug, so it just doesn't, it's like, if I glued this down, I think it would have been a little too snug. So just leave a little bit of space on either side, like so, maybe 2 millimeters. And then I take my scissors and I cut a little V like that. And if you want, you can take a ruler and draw a straight line down the side vertically so you can cut straight. I just tend to eyeball this, but what I'm doing is I'm gonna cut one side that's gonna be the front part like this. And since this is gonna be collaged over, it's okay if it's not perfect. And fold it. Make a little indent and then make sure to line up the top part here and just crease it down. One of these days I'll get myself those bone folders that seem to be really nice for bookbinding and like making these creases. For now, the edge of your fingernail works. I'll also cut this a little bit here and a little bit here. And for this card, I don't need this much space, I don't think, for the flaps, so I'm just gonna cut the extra edges off. It's about a centimeter, I guess. And then if you have glue tape, you could just glue tape down the two flaps. I do not have glue tape. I ran out, so I'm just gonna glue stick down that part. And before you glue it down, check to make sure that it can slide easily. How about we make another one of those circle cutouts for Jimin's face. What I did for the first one of these cutouts is like if you have like a light board, you could put it up against a light board, but I put it up against a lamp and like made little marks where Yoongi's face outline is and then cut it out like that. But I think what I'm gonna do, another sort of technique, which is not necessarily, there's probably a more efficient way to do this, but I'm gonna tape this down so it doesn't move. So supposing that the card will go here, sit at the bottom of the pocket, you centered. What I do is I want to cut out an outline for Jimin's face, right? So I poise my pen over where the edge of the outline would be, and I make a little mark, put it back, make a mark a little lower down his jawline, tip of his chin, like his cheek, and here-ish. So there's an outline of where his face would be. A trick would be to go a little smaller than the outline, because if you go too big, you can't undo it. But if you go small, then you can always cut out a little more. And I find it's easier to rotate the paper and sort of keep the knife more or less in place. But that's up to you. You could also move the knife, but sometimes my hand doesn't listen to my brain and it'll make a wrong cut, so rotating the paper is a little more stable for me, but I do a mixture of both. So this first cut is a little bit smaller than the outline of his face, right? Nearly good. I think I like more of his face on this side showing. This is when I used to carve rubber stamps. I found it easier to rotate the rubber rather than like use my hand with the knife too much. Yeah, I cut a little bit too much out here, but it's okay. I think it's still cute. So that's the same way you would do like the eye cut for if you wanted to do just their eyes. Did the same thing. I placed the card here, poised my pen over the corners of where the box will go to show his eyes, and then that's easier to cut out. And then later, when he goes in, I'll be dragon eyes. And I think you could have fun with this. Like I thought about finding like, you could draw like, I don't know, like a little chickadee body, or you could do like cat ears on Yoongi, or put someone else's body here if you wanted to get goofy. Glue down the flaps. Even though these are all going to different people, I want to do something different for each of Jimin's cards. So what What have I done so far? I've done this so far. So yeah, we'll do something that doesn't have a page from the album. This mirror is kind of cool. Oh, I made a mistake. For these, undo before the glue sets. Since I need to cut this out, I forgot. I need to put the background paper on first and cut out the hole again before I put the top loader sleeve together. So you have to be more careful when cutting the magazine because it tends, since it's thinner, it tends to rip. This is a good exercise for me because I'm like working with what I have, which is not my usual stationery stash and all my supplies and all my papers, but I did bring a couple things with me. I will be back in a second after I've finished the other ones and pack the photo cards with you and show you how I pack them. All right, see you in a bit. Oh, but really quick, I'll show you, and this is me figuring it out as I go, but I'll show you what I think you could do if you don't have note cards and you were just using cardstock. Leave a little bit of space so that you can slide out. Yep. And then cut bottom like so, and enough space here. Okay. Okay, we're doing this again. Literally figuring this out with you guys on camera. Just going to cut like so, so there's just enough for a flap. Yep, that's fine. And then cut the bottom. And I want enough of a margin here to make a flap, so I think that'll be good. And then flap. So I don't need this section. I'm gonna cut this like so, slightly at an angle, because you don't want the like sides to overlap too much. So I didn't cut it exactly at a 90 degree, I cut it a little bit at an angle. So this is what the flaps look like. And then there should be another type of pocket. It looks good. Two types of templates. Okay, here's another one. Very different style. Alright, see you in a little bit. Okay, so these are the ones that I had already shown you, and then I did this one on camera with you. It could be better. I think I would go back and take off these stickers and do just more cutouts of the same material, but here's this one. This next one was made from the cardstock, which is also a really easy way to make this template, and there's actually 2 cards in here. And then lastly, this is another Dragon Eyes one. pre-order benefit, and I did like a piece of art hanging on the wall because a little bit of namjuning and just a little cutout from the magazine back here.